What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Empty the Benches. Nick and Matt got a big one for you today. There's a lot of rumor mill going, a lot of controversial hits to talk about, a lot of hockey injuries to talk about. Mac, how's it going, my friend? Good to see you again.
It's good. I feel like this is, I don't want to say the first episode, but this feels like the first really meaty one in a while where there's just a ton of drama to talk about. So I'm excited.
Big, meaty episode. That is correct. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and kick things off with a little question of the day to get the brain a little exercise. So this one's going to be a little bit outside the box or outside of the crease, but it's who would make the best/worst EBUG of all time? And this could be anyone. So any fictional any fictional character you can think of, any like celebrity you can think of, what are some of the first ones that come to mind?
Right away, I like just to knock off a couple inanimate objects that I think would do a bang up job. A bed. I mean, that's a no-brainer, just like a nice bed.
Like one of those good ones with like a solid oak headboard that you'd see in like a boomer grandma's house or something.
Yep, goes all the way to the floor, so you're not gonna slip it through the 5-hole down there either.
Right.
Like it just real
weighs
sturdy.
Like 4 billion pounds.
Yep. Beanbag chair would be a good one.
Okay. Like one of those love sack ones. It's like for some reason like $1,500 for a beanbag.
Yes. Then I was also thinking about like some characters like cartoons and I was thinking about like the Iron Giant. I feel like he would be fucking awesome between the pipes.
Bad, yeah.
I mean, saying something like the Thing or the Incredible Hulk feels a little too obvious, so I kind of went towards like maybe his like distant cousin, the Iron Giant,
I actually feel like the Incredible Hulk would be one of the worst. He'd be very problematic because he's already angry, and I would imagine that like the lights and like the reflection off the ice would just like really fuel his rage, and things could spiral out of control.
I guess that's a good point. I mean, like we've seen Tuukka Rask play goalie already. We've seen Binnington when he's mad. Like we don't really need to play that scenario out again. I don't know. What are you thinking about?
Ironically, I think one of the first things that came to mind when I did this was I don't think CeeLo Green would be a very good EBUG, and that's mainly just because he's a little guy. But also, I don't really, think he would be good at it. Other than that, like Doc Hudson, I could see, but then again, he's a little bit older, and now he's dead, unfortunately. But that's a probably, older car. You don't want to damage him too much. He's probably worried about his headlights and, like a windshield and everything. So that could be a problem. I feel like a cargo shipping container off a boat could be great. You just drop that right in front of the net and just shoot at it all day.
Yep. No, that
Sidney
would work
Crosby's dryer.
Yep. Perfect.
Technically an EBUG, right?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah. I think that's kind of where my head's at.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing. Maybe like, I think like a Perry the Platypus could actually be real good. He's just like, I know he's little, but he's like so nimble and like quick, and he just kind of always, no matter what his task is, he always kind of gets the job done, seems like. So I think if called upon, he could probably pitch a 30-save shutout if needed.
An EBUG? Perry the EBUG.
Yeah, exactly. He would have a sick kit too. The teal and orange.
The little like the hat that goes on top of the mask at the end.
And the helmet, exactly.
That'd be so good.
Hell yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into some real hockey talk. So a lot to start with. You're going to go ahead and put on the tarp for what is going to be our first topic here. It's probably the first topic on the minds of everyone in the hockey world right now, and that is the Quinn Hughes rumor mill. It has now kind of exploded over the last couple days. If you're not caught up on this, I would say it started at the beginning of the season, maybe even going into last year with the locker room issues the Canucks were having. But considering they are dead last in the Pacific right now, it's really kind of exploded. The New Jersey Devils got in touch with them apparently last week about the possibility of Quinn Hughes, and I think that that's something that the entire internet for some reason seems like they want, just because they want the three Hughes brothers to be playing together. As a fan of a team in the Metro Division, I actively don't want that.
Please, no.
I think it is worth pointing out Hughes is currently signed to his contract. There's no trade, clauses or stipulations over that at all. It's going to go through next season, and he's got a $7.85 million cap hit. TSN's Mike Johnson, I don't know if you caught this. He said he's 95% sure that Quinn Hughes won't be in Vancouver by the end of the year. Canucks coach Adam Foote says they can feel it in the locker room. What are your thoughts on this so far?
It went from like a weird like whisper, like even just a few weeks ago of like, yeah, this will probably happen at some point. He's probably not going to be a Canuck for life, to all of a sudden, like you just put a brick on the gas pedal of this thing and it's like, holy fuck, like this shit could happen like soon. And like you said, it's almost feels inevitable that it will happen before the end of the year. Barring any kind of full-blown turnaround by the Canucks this season, which doesn't appear likely. Please not the Devils. That's really like my main thing. I would not have a problem if it was the Red Wings. I know the Caps have been tossed into that conversation. I don't really know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess I do. Like, I would never say no to having like one of the best defensemen in the league on my team, but we don't necessarily need another defenseman. And like, again, you'd always take one, but I fear what we would have to give up would maybe not be worth it. So I don't know why we're being included in that rumor mill.
That's my issue, is what would the Washington Capitals be able to give up?
I saw all kinds of silly, like,
unless it's like
proposals.
Every pick for like the next 18 years.
Yeah.
I don't see enough that they have to liquidate to go back in a deal for that.
I saw somebody saying like, would you take this deal if you're the Caps? We get Quinn Hughes, and I think it was like, this probably won't exactly be it, but it was something similar to like Hudson, like a future first round pick, and there was one other guy, might have been like Chris Saul or like somebody like that thrown in. So basically like two highly touted prospects and a future like first or second round pick. Like, are you pulling the trigger on that?
That's tough.
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely wouldn't. I saw people saying like Chychrun and Leonard plus picks. I'm like, absolutely not. Would not do that.
Fuck no.
No, not even going to happen. Not even going to entertain that. I don't know. The Hudson one's really interesting because we know he's tremendously skilled. I think it was kind of a steal the way the Caps got him at the draft, and then he took off. I don't know if he's necessarily going to evolve into a replacement for Quinn Hughes. But that's interesting for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how that all plays out. I feel for Canucks fans, man. This is just, it can't be fun having to deal with this.
It's dealing with it again, and I feel like that's part of the reason why these rumors are so just accelerated out of nowhere. It's because it is the Canucks, and they will move guys that they seemingly either don't want to be there or can't keep happy, or whatever the situation is. But they've been doing this pretty much since the 90s.
The other thing that I don't understand is this repeated pattern of Canucks coaches and management and like high up officials not like just keeping their damn mouth shut. Like if I'm Foote and they're asking me about it, the last thing I'm gonna fucking say is I can kind of feel it in the locker room. Like that is not fucking helping anything. You're just like, you got to just be like, I'm not here to talk about that. Like, I'm just going to keep coaching with the team that's in front of me, and management's going to do what they do best. Like that, you got to give a fucking cookie cutter answer in that situation. You cannot be like, yeah, dude, you're right. I have heard about these rumors. It seems pretty imminent and likely. Like that's your fucking captain that you're talking about. And like, that part baffles me. So
yeah, he absolutely put his foot in his mouth. That's for sure. So let's go ahead and move on from the dumpster fire that is the Vancouver Canucks to the absolute runaway steam locomotive that is the Colorado Avalanche right now. Can anyone stop these guys? Is my question, because they have 10 more points in the standings than every other team not named the Dallas Stars. They have a plus 48 goal differential, a home record of 10-0-2. And they have 2 regulation losses on the entire year, and it's December 10th.
Yeah, it's fucked. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I'm hoping is that this is just one of those teams like that Boston team we saw a couple of years ago, like some Capitals teams we've seen in the past, where they're just like stupid good all year and they just peak way too early and they're just doomed for some kind of adversity in like the second round or something like that. Because if I'm being honest, I really don't need to see another Colorado Avalanche Stanley Cup this year. It's not exciting to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would like them to win it more than I'd like about 5 or 6 other teams to win it. But yeah, I'd like to see somebody slay this giant.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think it's worth pointing out that Wedgwood got pulled by concussion spotters mid shootout last
Did
night.
see
so
that.
definitely
Forsberg
keep an
kinda
eye on that.
bowled into him, not
did.
intentionally, but
No, not at all. But hopefully he's okay and bounces back. But yeah, I agree. I don't think I'm necessarily rooting for this team to just run the table and win the Stanley Cup. It kind of seems like them and Dallas are just destined to duke it out for that top spot in the Central. And unfortunately, again, it probably means that those two are going to meet in the second round of the playoffs.
yeah. Yeah, I saw like a preliminary, like if playoffs ended today, like here's some like matchups, obviously for the first round. But I was just looking at the whole picture and I was like, dude, there's already a couple where I'm like, these two are gonna have to play each other again at some point. Like it's all the same shit. Which, you know, I'm gonna sound like a broken clock, but we really got to go back to 1 versus 8 if we want to like get any kind of different matchups year in year out.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. My question to you coming up, speaking of the Colorado Avalanche and the fact that they only have 2 regulation losses, is how many teams currently in the NHL on Wednesday, December 10th at 7:55 p.m. Eastern Time have under 10 regulation losses right now?
That's a good question. I'm going to go with 7.
There's 9.
9.
Do you think you can name them all?
Oh, man. I mean, so Colorado, I know Vegas is one because they have like 1 billion like overtime losses and shootout losses or something like that.
That is correct.
Are the Devils?
The Devils are not. They have
No.
12.
Okay. How about
We just talked about another one.
Dallas?
Yep, Dallas.
Okay. Carolina?
Carolina, yep.
There's 4. Don't tell me like Boston or something like that.
No, but there's 3 more East Coast teams in here.
Okay.
All Metro.
Are the Caps?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. 5. Let's go Islanders?
Nope.
No. Shit. Penguins?
Yep.
What the fuck? Oh, they've been losing a lot of shootout games too.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 1 more Metro team?
There's 1 more Metro team.
That's
We really don't like
crazy.
them.
The Rangers?
No.
Oh, they've lost a bit. Yeah.
They've lost a lot.
Flyers?
Yep. It's the
Okay.
Flyers.
Wow. All right, and then I'm missing 2 more teams.
You're missing 2 more. Both are West, 1 Pacific, 1 Central.
Minnesota?
Minnesota. Nailed it. Absolutely. And then the last one.
The last one would have to be like, is it a Canadian team or no?
It is not.
Okay. So this is a Pacific team. Does it make sense? Are they good?
They're not bad. I think they've got potential. I think you or I picked this team to make noise in the playoffs the last 2 years. They just keep losing to the same damn team over and over
LA.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that is all 9. I thought that was crazy. It kind of blows my mind that the Flyers are in there. I don't
that
really
is
love
odd.
that, but yeah, we'll deal with that later. Let's go ahead and empty the mailbox. You guys sent in a whole bunch of junk this week, so we picked the 2 best ones. So Seattle, they've lost 6 in a row. Is that just a bad stretch, or are they a bad hockey team?
Bad hockey team. I don't expect them to be good. I think this is just kind of them falling into what I expected them to be. We were not high on this team in the preseason rankings, and they're just a team with no direction right now, and I don't think there's a whole lot of upside there. So I'd say bad hockey team.
I would have to agree.
Or at least mediocre hockey team at best.
Mediocre. One of the things I said about them to Bowens when you were in Germany was I think they were second or third in the Pacific at the time when the Ducks were leading, and we were sort of comparing the two. And I said that the Kraken were the overreacher there at that point in the season, and I absolutely stand by that because they are now just 3 points ahead of the Canucks, who are dead last in that division. So, again, totally agree with you. I think no direction is probably the right way to put it. I don't necessarily think they have bad players. It's kind of a confusing locker room to me.
Orb of confusion.
Yeah, it kind of is the West Coast orb of confusion. I mean, it would be kind of cool, I think, to get these guys back into the playoffs at some point. I think they did like a good job of that when they went up against Dallas. What was that, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting. Speaking of Dallas, next question from the mailbox is how big of a loss is Tyler Seguin for the Dallas Stars? The 33-year-old is done for the year with an ACL injury.
That's tough. I mean, don't get me wrong. Elite player. Never easy losing a guy like that. If there's one team in the league that could afford to lose a guy like that, it's Dallas. They are so deep. They have so much scoring power. It's going to be next man up. So I don't think this will like ruin their season or anything like that. But it is tough. I mean, that fucking sucks. And he's obviously dealt with a lot of injuries in his career too. And he's getting up there in age. So you never want to see that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is it's a situation too where it's like he might not even be able to come back for the playoffs. Like it could be that bad. So obviously you feel for
ACL
the guy.
Is oftentimes like a full calendar year, I feel like.
Especially at 33. I mean, that's rough for anyone, let alone someone like you mentioned who's had the injury history that he has. Totally agree with you. I think you nailed it. If any team could afford to have like this depth issue, it's the Dallas Stars. They've got this covered. I don't think it's going to be too huge of a problem for them. I think he had 17 points in 27 or so games, something like that.
Right.
So, that's not nothing, but I think the Stars will be able to handle it. Plus, we all know that they've got a decent amount of youth coming on the way too. So
he's also somebody who I think for a lot of his career has been kind of like hot and cold, kind of a streaky player too. So
yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad there for a while. I don't know if you remember that. What was it, like 2019, 2018-ish, when like ownership was like calling him and Jamie Benn out about basically not playing?
Yeah, that was a sticky situation to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and get a word from our friends over at DraftKings, who I think you have a word about, and then we can dive into the weekly recap.
Yep, that's right. Every yard, every sack, every interception, and every touchdown. With Pick 6, DraftKings' newest game, every snap can turn into a big-time payout. This isn't just watching the game. This is playing to win. Here's how it works. Pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. It's that simple. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in Pick 6 credits with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. You know the game, now make it pay. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call, ride the upside. In partnership with DraftKings Pick 6, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded is non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, weekly recap time. A lot to get to. I feel like we have to start with the incident in Anaheim, the Jacob Trouba hit on Ryan Leonard. You had boots on the ground for this game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say what an excellent hockey game that was to be at in person. I had awesome seats, lower bowl right at center ice. Got to watch warm-ups, actually caught a puck for my sister, gave it to her for her birthday. Justin sort of took a ripper off the crossbar that went directly up and all the way over the netting. The usher came over to us and told us he has only seen that happen 3 times in his 30-year career working there. So that's kind of crazy. Anyway, to get into the game though, this was an electric game. Seeing the Ducks in person, that is a fast hockey team. Holy shit. Like,
Yeah, seriously.
I knew that, but you can't really comprehend it until you're that close to this team playing. First little bit there, we were just kind of hanging on, but it was a good ping pong match. We score, they score. And you could really feel the tension in the arena, especially after that hit. I think that the Caps really wanted to win that game after that happened. And obviously it didn't go their way, but a fantastic game. The hit, it's so hard for me to make a decision about this because I'm trying to be really fair. I'm trying to put myself in Ducks fans' shoes a little bit and ask myself if this was a Wilson hit, and how would I be reacting? When I saw it live, I thought it was okay. I thought, it's a big hit, it's a blindside hit, but I didn't necessarily think that it was the primary point of contact to the head. It looked like it was mostly shoulder to chest. So it's a tough one. I think there are some angles that you can look at that make it look a little worse now that maybe it could have been more towards the head than the chest. And also I think Truba knows exactly what he's doing, and he's not my favorite player. I'll leave it at that. But I think he knows exactly what he's doing, kind of going after a young player like that. So I don't love that. What I really don't love is the fucking Ducks douchebag social media team, like, posting the hit even after they saw the result of the play was Leno being bloodied and injured and not returning. They posted it's like choo-choo incoming or some shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's just fucking gutless, bro. Like, I don't care if it's a clean hit or not. You don't post the hit with a caption like that when you know it resulted in a player like bleeding and leaving the game, bleeding from the face and leaving the game. So they're a bunch of fucking clowns for that. That much is not up for debate.
It's easy to do that when you're a social admin and not the team that's going to have to come to DC on January 5th and inevitably answer for what just happened. And I'd like to remind Jacob Trouba that duck hunting season in Maryland and the DC area does go until the end of January.
Sure does. The other thing is Wilson, did you see him post-game say he asked Truba to fight and he wouldn't do it because he's a little bitch?
I mean, it is, I think you nailed it. It's like, it's a Jacob Trouba hit. He's been throwing these for a while. They're either over the line and he gets a game or two, or they're clean. And I think this one was just a tad over the line. For me, it's that backside look where you can just see, like, it looks like it's just straight to Leonard's face. So, sucks. Obviously, kid was having a great year, and, Carbs has said he's going to be out for an extended period of time. There was that shot of him in the tunnel after the Caps went against the Jackets. He was in a sling. So
that
seems like
confusing.
it might be a shoulder situation, maybe, I think, just as impact from the hit. But,
I initially thought concussion. I also figured the blood, okay, maybe he broke his nose or something like that, or bit his lip and it's, mouth or blood from the mouth or something like that. The arm thing is a little surprising, but I guess like you said, maybe it's like, I'm hoping it's not like a fucking collarbone or some shit like that, but maybe just some kind of, I don't know, shoulder sprain or shoulder strain. Like, I don't even know what that would be from a hit like that, but it's not good regardless. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mr. Bogdan Triniev get some time at some point if he's going to miss that much time, Leno.
Yeah, I agree, and that guy's absolutely earned it. My last question to you on the Leonard hit is, do you think there will be retribution on January 5th, I think, or 10th, or whenever it is? Or do you, and by who, if so?
I kind of do. I mean, I think Wilson or Dewey will get him. Probably.
I would agree.
I'd be surprised if not.
Yeah, I think both of those guys are well within the weight class, too, where it wouldn't be too much of a mismatch. Although I think if Truba goes with Wilson, he's going to get the wheels beat off of him. But
yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't think he's really a good fighter. That's the thing. He's like, he's just a fucking guy who runs around and lays big hits and then doesn't want to answer for it.
Yeah, Couldn't have said it better myself. Worth noting, I think, here that the Caps have also placed goalie Charlie Lindgren on injured reserve, so Clay Stevenson is probably going to be around for a little bit longer here, although I don't really know what Lindgren's timeline is.
I thought they said Gavin Bjorklund was up, but I also know that Charlie was on the ice today at least, so that one shouldn't be too much longer as far as I can tell.
Gotcha. Good to hear that. Outside of that, things have been going pretty well for the Caps. They have won 10 of their last 12 games. They have a huge matchup tonight, which is Thursday, the night you guys are listening to this, for the top spot in the Metro against the Hurricanes. These teams come in with essentially identical records. What are you looking at for this Hurricanes matchup?
Well, I want to see the Caps come in well rested, but strong and fast. We've seen this team perform poorly after multiple days off in the past. We all saw that viral clip where they were jacked and fired up about 2 days off, as they should be, and as they earned. They had a fuckload of games on the road and back-to-back and all that shit. So well-earned for sure, but that being said, I want to see them come out quick and fast and have a strong start against Carolina. That's a huge game in the standings, and just always a big game when you play those guys. We don't like each other, so.
No, it's going to get ugly fast, as it always does between those two teams. So as long as they can keep that, Hurricane system bottled up, just stick to their game, throw big hits, make some big plays. Ideally, I think in a game like that, you probably need the power play to get going, especially when these two teams get together. You know guys are going to be going to the penalty box. So hopefully they can carry on some of the stuff they had going in that San Jose game. Power play looked great that night. So definitely looking forward to that between those two teams. Compressed schedule, I think, is really starting to rear its head here. Obviously, with injuries, that's not just for the Caps, it's across the league thing. But I think looking at the upcoming matchups here, some of these are really difficult. I know the Jets are not where they want to be points-wise, but that is a big team, heavy team, fast team. Their Caps are in Winnipeg on Saturday the 13th, and then they're down in Minnesota. Both of those two teams are a challenge. Then they've got the Leafs on the 18th. Hopefully that should be a layup. You are going to the game against Detroit on the 20th, and then we will both be at the game against the Rags on the 23rd. But in between that, they do a home and home with Detroit on the 20th and the 21st. So those ones as well are always tough. The back-to-backs, especially with those two teams. I feel like they do this every year, but definitely looking for these guys to continue this going forward.
Yeah, I mean, between now and Christmas, like you said, Jets, Wild, Leafs, Wings, Rangers, and then you get Christmas. So those, I mean, if they can stay real hot through that game or through all those games, that would be massive.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else before we close out the weekly recap?
I don't think so. My trivia question revolves around the Caps, but we'll get there in a little bit.
Sounds good. Let's just touch on the college situation real quick. Good series over the weekend between number 1 and number 3 in the country, Michigan and Michigan State. They split. Michigan wins in East Lansing on Friday night, 3-0. Michigan State gets them back 3 or 4-1 in Ann Arbor on Saturday. They basically stay the same where they are in the rankings, pretty much top 3 across the board, with Wisco at number 2 stays the same. My team of the week, though, shout out to Union, taking down number 8 Quinnipiac. That is an awesome upset for that program. This is one of those things I just love about college hockey. It's just any given night, anyone can beat anyone. Your ranking doesn't matter. You're only as good as your next shift, and I love that.
Yeah, that shit rocks. I mean, Quinnipiac's a damn good team, so that's something those guys will remember for a while. Everybody on that Union squad.
Won the ship in 23, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right. They've always been right up there, and they're a winning program for sure.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and do trivia, and then we can get you guys out of here.
All right, this is a good one. This is one that my dad's coworker asked him. Then he asked my sister, and then my sister asked me, and now I'm going to ask you. So this is a Caps trivia question that has been passed down, and my sister and I thought it was a good one because my dad's coworker who asked him had actually stumped my dad, which if you know my dad...
I'm screwed.
If he's getting stumped by a Caps trivia question, must be a little out there. All right, so you're in luck. We're not going to go back to the 70s and talk about any random ass players like that. We are talking about the current team.
Okay.
There are 2 players on the team that went to high school together that might surprise you.
That went to high school together.
Yes. They were not in the same grade. They're not the same age, but they were at high school together at the same time. There was some overlap.
Gotcha.
We'll start there. I can give you some hints if needed, but
off the top of my head, is it Duhaime and Chychrun because they're both from Florida?
no, that would have been too obvious. We know those guys were buddies growing up, but
Right.
that's not what we're after here.
Okay. Are they Americans?
One is American,
Interesting.
and the high school is in America.
Okay. Is John Carlson one of them?
No.
Okay. Trying to think of where all the boys are from now.
I know. It got me pretty good. I got for some reason I got one of them right away, and then it took me
Okay.
forever to get who the other one was.
This is tough.
Yeah.
Am I thinking East Coast or West Coast? Has to be East Coast, right?
Neither coast.
Okay. That helps.
And it's an American player and a Canadian player.
American player and a Canadian player. Are they both goalies?
No.
Okay.
Neither one is a goalie.
I was like, there's no way Chucky and Logan went to high school together. Is one of them Nick Dowd?
Nope.
God damn it.
They're also both like everyday lineup guys when healthy. We're not talking about a Declan Chisholm or Dylan McElrath or anybody like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Is one of them Dylan Strom?
Nope.
Oh, damn it. I thought because maybe he played junior in Erie.
Right.
Damn, this is tough. One's American, one's Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of them Sonny Milano?
Nope.
God damn it, I'm running out of Yankees on this team.
One's a defenseman, one's a forward.
Matty Roy.
That's one.
Okay. And I'm assuming it's like Michigan, Minnesota, right?
It was Michigan,
Okay.
which I think is where he's from.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But I did not know this other guy was down in Michigan going to high school.
Is it like Dubois or Beauvillier?
Nope.
Okay.
I guessed both of those too when I was trying to figure this out.
And like consistent lineup guy, you said? Okay.
Yeah.
Willie?
Yep.
Oh, right, because he played with the Plymouth Whalers.
Yes,
God damn
yeah,
it, I should have
yeah.
got that.
Yeah, it like makes sense afterwards when you think
Yeah.
about it, but it's super random. Like
That's
Willie
that's such a
and
good one.
Roisey.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got some hilarious stories about what Tom Wilson was like in high school.
I bet, dude. I bet.
Oh, damn, that was good. Anything else before we wrap up here?
I don't think so. Yeah, like you said, we'll both be at that Rangers Caps game, and I'll be at the Wings one. So might see us around the holidays, but we'll give you some reminders as we get closer. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like, comment, subscribe, share, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. We're going to be posting some more hilarious stuff for you guys coming up this week, and we will catch you in the next episode.